All right, not just a shutout, not just our first shutout of the season, but one of the biggest shutout victories in the history of that storied franchise in Green Bay. 34-0, the second largest shutout win in franchise history. Back in Studio Moose alongside the Mac. And B-Mac, I don't even know if we need to say Saints here. This was JV versus varsity. And sometimes at this point of the year, you need a win and you need a look. The Saints give a look and nothing more. What did you make of the Packers' performance on Monday night?
They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Get out to a fast start. You're playing against a team that was playing a lot of backups, having nothing to play for. So you didn't want to give them any glimmer of hope throughout this ball game. And that's what the Green Bay Packers did. They came in, and the little life the Saints had, they just snatched it from them instantly. Josh Jacobs got things going. To your point, Joe, he pretty much had the second half off.
Yeah.
Kind of sitting and watching and getting ready for the next game. And then you look at some of the other guys just, filling in and doing what they were supposed to do. And this was the ultimate performance for the Green Bay Packers, because we knew when you look at where Vegas set this line, being 14.5-point favorites, clearly they were going to win this ball game, barring anything dramatic happen.
Yeah.
But when you look at how they just dominated the game, this is what you want to see from the Green Bay Packers, beating the teams you're supposed to beat, and also beating them with style.
Yeah, and not offering anything defensively. You keep a 0 on the scoreboard, you can't ask for anything more than that.
And that was a stat that I was not aware of. This was the very first shutout in the National Football League happening in Week 17.
That doesn't sit right with your soul.
No, I feel some type of way.
Final game of Week 16.
Defenses mean something.
It certainly does, and their defense showed up in this one. Back to what we were talking about there, call it active rest, call it what you want for Josh Jacobs. How important was this night? Because I'm not just talking about this season, but go back multiple seasons to Vegas and Oakland and Alabama. The tread on the tire, I'm not here to suggest that it's wearing on Josh Jacobs, but the importance of a night like this when so much is going to be asked of you on a stretch run and a playoff run for Green Bay.
It was a great thing to see Josh Jacobs, number one, keeping the motor going. Number two, being able to have the second half to kind of sit and chill and just watch a little bit, because they're going to need Josh Jacobs to be at his best in the playoffs. They're going to need Josh Jacobs to feel his best in the playoffs. And you saw there were a few moments in this ball game where he kind of came to the sideline. His arm felt like maybe his arm or his shoulder didn't feel good. You kind of saw some agony on his face. But all in all, he got out of this ball game clean, feeling good, and moving forward for them to make any noise in the playoffs. It starts and it stops with number 8 in Josh Jacobs.
It certainly does. They don't have that luxury, everyone, in that offensive position grouping. Christian Watson dinged up a couple times throughout this one. We saw him go to the locker room early in the second half as well. What does that mean for this team? Because, yes, it's going to be run first. They're going to be on the road in the playoffs, but this is their field stretcher. This is the guy that keeps the safeties out of the box, and he seems to continue to deal with these soft tissue injuries. It also might have looked like a knee in this instance. No conjecture here. We don't know the extent of what he sustained, but if he's not 100, if he's not a full go come playoff time, what does that mean for the Packers?
Well, it's a loss because he is the big-time playmaker for their offense, but the luxury for the Packers, they have grown accustomed to playing without Christian Watson because he has missed time throughout his professional career there in Green Bay. But he did come back into the ball game, didn't really look to be 100%. Eventually, he walked to the locker room, but we haven't heard anything significant in terms of Christian Watson. But like I said, next week is a meaningful game, but you already secured your playoff spot. So if you don't have Christian Watson at his best, I'm okay in sitting him and getting him ready for the playoff stretch.
We'll take a look
if that is the case.
Certainly. We will take a look at that NFC playoff picture here in just a bit, but in this moment, it's also a nice clean ledger for Jordan Love. Could have thrown an interception there. The big fella tipped one up, almost brought it in, if not for running into his own DB there. But Jordan Love needs to be what over this playoff stretch to elevate this team to a greater height? We haven't seen this team on a Super Bowl Sunday since 2011. A lot of work between now and then, but is this the guy and is this the season?
Jordan Love needs to be the point guard that exercises patience in this offense. And what I mean when I say that, you don't need to create every offensive possession and turn it into a fast break. It's okay to be patient and go through the progressions within the offense.
Get into that half-court offense.
No question. That's okay. Get into the half-court offense and allow Josh Jacobs to do what he can do. Allow the rhythm-like throws to become a significant importance into the offense. And that's what we saw tonight, and that's what we've seen from Jordan Love over the last few weeks, because remember, when he was healthy in the middle part of the season, turnovers were surfacing because he was trying to get into that fast break mode. He was trying to make things happen right now. It's okay to exercise patience. That's what the great quarterbacks do that are overly talented. They know I can try to press the issue to try to score at a fast rate, but sometimes it's good to do it the generic way, being able to sustain drives, work the length of the football field, and most importantly, exercising patience. That's the biggest development that I've seen from Jordan Love, from where he is currently now to how he started the season when he was healthy, just being patient within the offense.
Patience is a virtue, but at some point you're going to have to put the foot on the pedal. Seeding not settled, but they are locked into the NFC playoffs somewhere between 5 and 7. They will be on the road throughout the entirety of these playoffs. That is, barring some massive upsets all over the place, but they're going to start there on the road. It's a wild card spot for Green Bay. Losses this season: 1-4, 9-14, 2 to the Lions, 1 to the Vikings, and 1 to the Eagles. The class of the NFC, if you will, and they will get another shot at those Vikings in Week 17. Implications for that 1 seed.